All right, so now let me explain to you one thing which is for the magazine questions. And this is about how much durable the strings are. Well, the trebles, which are first, second, and third strings, these ones here, the first, the second, and the third, we don't change these strings often or so often as these ones, as the bass set. The bass set is the fourth string, the fifth string, and the sixth string. This is the bass set. And the treble set is the third, second, and first. Now, these ones here, the trebles, will last much more, at least 4 times what the basses last. Means you change the basses, but you don't change the trebles often. Also, why? Because if you keep changing the trebles, then they never get the stretch, amount of time of a stretch it has to give the best sound. It will go better even after 3-4 months. It will start to sound really well. And unless of course the trebles does not tune anymore, or or they break, right? Unless that happens, like for example here you can see, you can notice that this string, the second, it has already here, around here, it has a mark like if it is coming up, almost a hair out of it because of overplaying. So this one here is wear off. Now the second, yes, certainly it is wear off, and the third as well a bit. Although third will last probably 6 to 9 months sometimes, depending on how much you play. It depends on the time, how many hours you play a day, right? But unless you see the trebles wear off like that, or they don't tune anymore, the trebles, you keep them. Means I will change only the bass set. So therefore I advise this. Of course, every guitar is specific which strings will go better with those guitars, right? But as a general advice, you leave the first, second, and third string on, and then when you change the bass set, you can change it 3 or even 4 times these ones. Suppose you change the bass set every 15 days, twice a month, or every 20 days, or once a month. Okay, if you change these ones every month, once a month, the bass set, then the trebles will be every 4 months changed. And actually, if they don't have problems with tuning or that, you should leave the trebles, because the trebles sound better with time. And the basses are wear off. Naturally, the fourth string will go first than others. And this is why now I choose on this guitar, because this one has wear off the strings. And this is how it sounds. You can notice it because it's not so bright, the bass sound, as it is when the strings are new. Of course it sounds great because the guitar is great. Right? So on this guitar, this one here that has new strings. And that's another thing. If you are having sometimes the alternative of the Aquila Italian handmade Nile God strings, you know that before strings used to be from cat intestines. So instead of killing cats, these people design a very nice formula of Nile God nylon, and God sound like imitating the last century style strings were used to play the music of Fernando Sor and so forth, before the nylon era was developed. So here the thing is that how the basses sound when the basses are new, how they look like. They look like these. Those are fresh basses. And the wore-off basses look like this. I hope you can notice the marks on the edge of the frets generally. And also the change of color here. Well, this is pretty evident. While these ones are new, pure and fresh ones. And these ones, the sound, let me show you this. This is the sound of the already wear-off basses. So it's a little bit dull, the string. And these are the basses of the new basses. So these strings, the Italian Aquila strings, these ones last less time, except this material Nile God. Other trebles should be kept for longer, and even this second string of Aquila, I can leave it for 2 change of sets of basses. So this is the sound of the basses, new basses. And then if I play, say, 1 hour a day or half hour a day, it would be a good idea to change the basses every other week, let's say every 15 days, right? And then if you play more, this will happen. This happens, I have many guitars, but this one here, I played it like 1 week only, this guitar, last week that I was in Switzerland. So I have to bring only one, and then I brought this one, and then of course the basses are completely used. So this is how it looks on the fretboard. And then you can distinguish this thing and be able to replace them whenever you need. So remember, the treble set will last 3 or 4 times more. So we don't change the first, second, and third. And the fourth, fifth, and sixth, the bass set, we can change it more often. Sometimes I change every week or even every 4 days. And the exact time to stretch and get the best sound out of it is on the basses probably 3 days. So it means you before the performance or the gig you have, you will change the strings. Say if I have to play 3 days after, I change the basses today. And the trebles need more. Trebles need at least 2 weeks to be stable on the tuning and that, because actually the peak of beautiful performance that it may have, the strings take time, as I said, to stretch properly. So better leave at least 3 days the basses before you do a recording or an important gig, concert or something. And the trebles should be at least for 15 days on. But if they have more time, then even better, because it will become much more stable. Stable sound means it doesn't go down the tuning. So that they don't keep coming down, right, on the tuning thing. So once you get stable the trebles, then let them there and just change the basses. Okay, I hope this was useful to answer your questions, and I see you next time.